Wednesday is back with season 2. This is part 1. Part 2 doesn't come out until September 3rd. You know what I'm saying? This is joining the long lines of flagship Netflix series that get split up into parts. You know what I'm saying? Which I have no real issue with that, with their main big shows and whatnot. There's so much stuff coming out, so it's like you got to kind of break it up. That aside, it's been since 2022, so like 3 years since season 1. So it's definitely been a minute. A lot's happened in that time. I had to watch a couple of episodes from season 1 to kind of just refresh my mind, and also watch the recap. But I'm kind of glad, looking back at it now, that they did kind of split this up, because now I could just kind of talk about these first 4 episodes. So definitely let me know your thoughts as I discuss. So the season kicks off with Wednesday being involved with this serial killer, you know what I'm saying, that's into dolls and whatnot. He's called the Scalper. This is pretty much her whole summer. She's able to kind of get out of that fairly quickly, thanks to Thing. And it goes to like 6 weeks earlier. And in that time, Wednesday has been reading Goody's book of spells and just trying to master her powers and her abilities. But she gets these black tears that come out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere, but lately. And on top of this, when she gets back to Nevermore, she's pretty much like the most popular kid in school. Like, she even has like people that dress up like her. So she is not really feeling that, you know what I'm saying? Other people are also kind of reaping those benefits, like Eden. She is liking that she's gotten a lot more friends. She has an interesting role in all of this. Not so much what's going on with her relationship wise. Like, she likes this guy Bruno because he's also a werewolf, but is dealing with the breakup of Jax, and Jax is kind of dealing with that breakup really bad throughout this and trying to figure his place out in all of this. So that's pretty much what went down in the summer. She's been doing this, like studying up on her powers, then coming back. Pugsley is now in Nevermore, and when I saw Pugsley and especially Eugene, I was like, bro, are these the same actors? And you thought like the Stranger Things kids like went through a growth spurt. These kids went through a crazy growth spurt. They look like grown-ass men compared to 3 years ago, which is fucking crazy. But now Pugsley also is starting to show powers similar to Uncle Fester, where he has the ability of shooting lightning out of his hands, which comes into play shortly in the next episode. And you know what I'm saying, we got a new principal because the previous principal passed away. Barry Dort, that's played by Steve Buscemi. And I gotta say, that's one of my negatives so far, is his involvement in all this, because he tries to get Bianca to get Morticia to donate some money, and his whole thing so far has just been about money. I don't know what his big overall goal is and why he is so desperate to get this funding, and how desperate he is to get Morticia's mom, grandmama, her money attached to the school. I don't know. He was just a weird kind of character. I don't know where that whole subplot's gonna be going. Not my favorite by any means, but I do like that he kind of taps into Nucky Thompson here and there, so that's cool. So we also get this backstory on Ophelia, that's Wednesday's aunt, because a lot of this is just like Wednesday dealing with the fact that she loses control, or she loses the ability of like her powers and stuff like that. And also Morticia doesn't want her, using Goody's spell book. So now she has to kind of figure out what's going on while also dealing with a stalker, which later gets revealed to be Agnes. She dresses just like Wednesday. She's a Stan, pretty much. Also, what's interesting is the daughter mother dynamic between Morticia and Wednesday, and how much they clash, and how much of their family history gets revealed in these 4 episodes. Overall, though, her whole point, or her whole purpose this season, is to stop Edith's death, because she saw this premonition. She doesn't know how it happens, and this is why it's hard for her to kind of figure out what to do without her powers or without the spell book. She has to kind of go back to basics, and I really like seeing Wednesday's detective skills throughout this without her needing her powers or anything like that. Her actually really caring about somebody other than herself, to let you know that, like, she has changed dramatically. She's still Wednesday, you know what I'm saying? She's still wisecracking and whatnot. And, you know, this all kind of leads her to find this place called Willow Hill. And that's like where they keep all the crazies and whatnot. But there's something more sinister going on. And also Tyler is being held there. And I really like Tyler being like kind of like a main villain for Wednesday. I feel like he's definitely shown more of his villainous side. It's just so goofy when he transforms. It kind of takes you out of it a little bit, but at the same time, I like Tyler. I want to see what they do with him the rest of the season. And we have Marilyn in this as well, and her appearance in this is pretty short-lived. Pun intended, because one of our new characters, Dr. Fairburn, that seems to be running the asylum and stuff like that, she tries to figure out ways to rehabilitate certain patients, and she wants to be able to control Tyler. But, you know, Marilyn's got a completely different other idea for Tyler, and Tyler has his own motives as well. The one person I feel like is unnecessary as fuck this season just so far is Gomez. Gomez literally has nothing to do. I'm glad that Pugsley gets something to do, because he ends up getting this pet zombie he calls Slurp. I was like, pause, bro. And Slurp just, like, he delivers a lot of the deaths in this first half, bro. He's just going around eating people's brains, but as he's eating people's brains, he's gaining his body back. He's able to regenerate, and I'm curious to see where that's going to go. And maybe Slurp will be like a villain that kind of bleeds into season 3, because season 3 has been confirmed. So, you know, as Wednesday is trying to figure out who's who and what's behind what, it ends up being the dude that used to run or own the Salem Asylum's daughter, Judy, that was kind of behind all these experiments. That reveal to me was kind of lackluster, because here I was thinking like it could have been Miss Capri, and it could have been Fairburn. I would have been cool with the obvious kind of reveal, but just it being Judy, and just it was a little meh. It was just a little meh. But what follows up after that, like with Fester kind of doing some intel in this place, and that was like some of the funniest shit of this season so far, is just more Fester was really dope. And seeing all the crazy patients just kind of break out. Tyler is able to escape, clashes with Wednesday, throws her out the window, and that's how pretty much the first half ends, with Wednesday kind of unconscious, bloodied, and stuff, like really banged up. So who knows what Enid's actual fate is? Like, will Wednesday be able to stop that? I think that would be really interesting to kind of show in part 2, and even raise the stakes, because to show that like any of these characters outside of like Wednesday could really die. And I think it would be an interesting um, thing for Wednesday to kind of deal with, actually grieving somebody that she cares about, because she really is ride or die for Eden in this, and is really interesting. The whole crows and stuff was cool, but like I said, the whole reveal of that was just a little meh. And I'm hoping that they land the plane with part two. But so far, I really enjoyed these first 4 episodes. It's really cool to be back in this world of Wednesday. This season definitely felt like everything I've heard about like Dexter, but meets Hogwarts, or meets Harry Potter, and even a little bit of the Batman, with Wednesday doing her detective stuff. So let me know how you guys feel about this first half. Are you looking forward to more of this story, more of Wednesday, and more of the Addams family in general? Because I know Lady Gaga is in this, and I'm wondering if she's going to be like Aunt Ophelia or something like that, or um, a completely different character, the actual big bad of this season. And I feel like that's kind of an interesting thing, because now you have Tyler out there. You have a lot of interesting things, and it seems like with part two, that first episode is going to be dealing with Wednesday being in like a coma. So a lot of interesting things. I know that season 3 is coming, you know what I'm saying? So I will see y'all in the next one. Let me know how you guys feel about this first half. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.